Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. It is episode 6, and today's podcast is titled Stop Giving People Unlimited Chances to Disrespect You, okay? Let me repeat that. Stop giving people unlimited chances to disrespect you. Okay. And I really wanted to discuss this because I feel like a lot of us, especially women, like we're taught and we've been conditioned and programmed to believe that, we have to be nice. We have to. Like, there's no other option other than being nice. And what adults don't tell us is that sometimes, like, in being nice, you don't have boundaries. And when you don't have boundaries, people feel like they could do whatever they want to you. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So, in being programmed and taught that as you grow up and you become an adult, you learn to allow people to disrespect you because you were taught that you had to be nice and that there was no other way. Now, there's a difference between being nice, okay, and being a doormat. You're kind because that's your heart. But when you're nice and you're doing things that you don't want to do just so that you can please the other person, that makes you a doormat. And a lot of times we don't know that we were actually set up for failure because there's nothing wrong with being nice or being kind, but you got to have a limit on it. And you know why? Because people don't have a limit to their disrespect. That's why. They don't have a limit. So you need to have a limit when you're kind to people. You need to set those boundaries. Your kindness should come with limits. It should come with boundaries. And it should overall come with respect because you deserve that. I talked about this on my channel before. I have a whole, like, I think 4 2-minute video of it, but you deserve respect as well as having boundaries and limits to your kindness. Because when it comes to people being disrespectful, they don't have any boundaries. They're gonna do whatever they want. They don't have any limits. They could push your buttons and say something very hurtful because they don't have a limit to their disrespect. It's limitless, okay? But your kindness doesn't have to be limitless. A lot of us get caught up in, well, I was taught this and the Bible say this. I understand that, okay? I understand we all have different views here, but when it comes to the sake of your mental health, okay, and protecting your energy and your assets and your fucking life, you have to have limits to your kindness. You have to. Because let me tell you what people do. This is their strategy. When they see you really kind with no boundaries, this is their strategy. One, they're going to flatter you, tell you everything you want to hear, things you've never heard before. Like, they listen to you talk. And most of us end up, talking about our insecurities with people because sometimes we feel comfortable. Sometimes we feel like that person can relate to us because they share that insecurity or they've overcame it. Whatever the case may be, you feel comfortable talking about that. And eventually, that person is soaking it all up. They're listening so that they know, okay, she's never heard this or he's never heard that. Or if you're non-binary, they'll say, well, that person has never heard this. So let me say this. And it's all to manipulate you, okay? It's manipulation at its finest. That's why you should be careful of anybody that's too flattering or anybody that just keeps giving you gifts out of nowhere or they want to take you out of nowhere. You don't even know why. You're not giving that person anything, but guess what? You are going to give them something in return because people that do that, they set all of that up, the flattery, the dinner, the gifts, all of that, okay? Surprising you, doing things for you. Like, they do all this in order to, get a control of you emotionally. It's like having emotional control over somebody so that when they do stuff, you're going to forgive them because you're going to think about, oh, this person has done this for me. This person said this to me. This person gave this to me. You start thinking about everything they gave you physically or what they said to you, but you're not thinking about how does this person making me feel? Because people will do stuff for you just so that later on they could be like, well, I did this for you and I did that for you. Do this for me. Say this to me. You know, go get that for me. Give that to me. Like, it comes with a catch. That's why you have to have limits on your kindness, but you also have to have discernment. When it comes to people who are unlimited in their disrespect, you have to have discernment. If somebody's constantly giving you stuff, it's okay to say no. Along with having boundaries and having limits to your kindness is having the ability to say no. No, you don't have to take on everything that is given to you or said to you by somebody else. You could say, "Well, no, thank you," or "I appreciate the flattery, but like it better if you wouldn't talk to me that way and we remain friends. Like there's ways you can talk to people and set those boundaries without having to be rude. A lot of people think assertiveness and having boundaries is being mean and being rude, but it's not, because you need those in order to remain a healthy individual. You need them for yourself and you need them for other people, because that's how you maintain, harmonious relationships with people, when you have your do's and don'ts and they have their do's and don'ts and you're in a mutual understanding and agreement. However, there will be people who don't want to have a mutual understanding or agreement with you because they want to have power over you. They want to have control. They're selfish individuals. They are unlimited in their disrespect. And that's what they'll do. That's their strategy. And I know this because I've dealt with this plenty of times. Plenty, too many. Okay. Like I've had my kindness taken for weakness by a lot of people. And that's why, like, in my life right now, I have a small ass circle. And I appreciate it being small, because when it came to friends, like I didn't have the best discernment, because I was being friends with people who were jealous and envious of me, being friends with people who see me as an opportunity, being friends with people who want to take money and finesse me, being friends with people who see me, as somebody that they can put their and dump their emotions on, like being friends with people who see all of that except my value. So I've learned, because even when I was friends with these people, and I'm talking about friendships in particular, because a lot of times, like, we have a lot of friends. Like a lot of times you're going to have friends most of the time before you have like a partner. So that's why I'm bringing up friends in particular, because friendship is something that's very vital to our life. It's very important to us. Okay. I bring it up because it's like, that's where I've experienced the harshest lessons, not only from family, but friends more so, because I took friendships very seriously. And if you listen to previous podcasts, I explain why. And I have friends that knew that I was kind, knew that I was gentle, knew that I was nurturing, and seeing those qualities about me as weak, when those are strengths, okay? Because it is not easy to be gentle to yourself. It is not easy to be compassionate to yourself, okay? And others sometimes, especially if they do something harmful to you. And it's not always easy to be so kind, because we live in such a cruel world, but to live in a world like that and still maintain those qualities, and then they grow over time, like that's beautiful and that's a gift. That is not a weakness. I don't look at it like that, but unfortunately, other people do. So I had friends come in and disrespect me, disrespect me verbally, disrespect me by not listening to something I'm going through, but want me to listen to what they're going through because they felt like it was more important. Disrespect me by sneak dissing me on social media, disrespect me by going behind my back, telling people my personal business, disrespect me by going behind my back and telling people stuff, but twisting it and adding a little razzle dazzle to the story, disrespecting me by slandering my character and turning other people against me. And the list is endless. Okay. But I want to say this: the first disrespect you encounter with a friend, and we can go as far and even add in a relationship, okay, a romantic relationship, a business partnership, coworker, whoever, even family. Whenever you face that disrespect the first time, you have to say something about that, okay? Like, don't just let stuff slide, because when you give people an inch, they're gonna take a fucking mile. Don't let people slide when they disrespect you. Address it, because sometimes, because we got the 90% that it is disrespect, and we got that 10% that sometimes it's just somebody may speak bluntly, because I know I speak blunt and sometimes it can come off that way to others. So I'm understanding of that, or sometimes it was just a misunderstanding, or you misunderstood, what the person said or did. We have that 10% when things like that happen between you and another person, where you think it's disrespect, but it's not. But with that 90%, it is disrespect. Excuse me, it is disrespect. And you have a choice. Even though you were programmed to be nice, you don't have to be kind when somebody is disrespecting you. You have a right to be assertive in those moments and respectfully, assert those boundaries, okay? And I say respectfully because you don't have to match people's disrespect with you either. There are some people that go off on you and they want you to go off on them too, but you don't even have to match that. You can just be like, okay, well, when you talk to me like that, I'm not going to be able to talk to you. So I'll see you later. You know what I'm saying? That's how you set those boundaries of people instead of feeling like, well, I need to explain myself or I need to be the bigger person. Sometimes being the bigger person is just walking the fuck away. Being the bigger person is not always you got to set it straight. You got to explain yourself. You got to forgive. No, being the bigger person is sometimes just being like, deuces. We can have this conversation when you're civilized. We can have this conversation when you're calm. We can have this conversation when you're in a space to listen and not throwing a temper tantrum. Because a lot of people get mad when you try to have these uncomfortable conversations when all you're doing is trying to make peace, you know? You're trying to let this person know, like, hey, that offended me. Like, you're trying to communicate. But let me tell you something, along with communication, and I'm pretty sure you all know this, but along with communication is comprehension. So if they can't comprehend what you're saying, chances are the communication is not even going to matter. Even if you have the right tone, the right style, you're articulating it correctly, that person is still not going to listen because they made it up in their mind that uncomfortable conversations mean you're doing something wrong or bad or mean to me. And there's people that have that. They don't feel like you can hold them accountable, but guess what? You can always walk away. And if you never continue the conversation, then you never continue it. Don't waste your breath on people who are going to disrespect you unlimited. They're going to do it unlimited because that's their character. A lot of people are limitless in disrespect. They don't even consider it disrespect, but it is. Call it out. And if they don't want to have the conversation, then it's okay. Don't stress yourself out over that. But I'm saying this to say that get around people who respect you, okay? Get around people who respect you. Even if you got to get away from certain family members, that is okay. Even if you got to quit a job because your coworkers are disrespectful, that is okay. Because a lot of people don't understand that the way people treat you, that has an effect on how you see yourself. That has an effect on how you feel about yourself. Excuse me, y'all. Let me get some water. I have this Voss sparkling water. It's lemon cucumber. And it's okay. But yeah, you gotta, as I was saying, you gotta get around people that respect you. People that know, like, okay, if I'm gonna get mad, I'm gonna express my anger, in a way that is not going to hurt this person or disrespect this person. Because sometimes we do slip up and hurt people with our words and our actions, but it's different when you are intentionally trying to disrespect somebody and you're doing it over and over again because you think that that person is never going to stand up for themselves. That's what I'm talking about here. Like, get away from people like that know you have a kind heart and use that to your advantage because they know that most likely you're going to be the one to try to work it out and be the bigger person. But you know what? You can walk away and go around people who respect you. Like, a lot of times when you've been disrespected and abused and mistreated for so long, you begin to think that there's nobody in the world that's going to respect me and love me and care about me and support me and listen to me. And I know, because coming from personal experience, I used to feel this way. But I want you to know that it's not true. It is not true. There will be someone or some people that understand you, that listen to you, that have compassion for you, that have love for you, that will not disrespect you when they get upset. People that can communicate with you and have those uncomfortable conversations. Like, there's people like that in the world. So don't ever psych yourself out and think that there's nobody like that. Yes, it is. It is. But first, you got to get rid of the people who are disrespecting you, because you don't have to keep taking that shit. Like I said, that stuff can affect how you see yourself. You don't need to be around people who every time you get around them, they talking bad about you. They disrespecting you. It don't even have to be every time, but just every other time you notice that they taking shots at you, digs at you, making subliminal posts about you, just doing little hurtful things to you. No, you don't have to be around that, and let people get mad. Because when you cut off people who are unlimited with their disrespect, trust me, they're going to be mad, but let them be mad. Let them sit in what they created. Had they not been continuously disrespectful to you, maybe they will be in your life. Had they been accountable, maybe they'll be in your life, but they don't want to be accountable. They think that disrespecting you is okay and it's cool because they're in their feelings, but it's not. It doesn't justify the behavior ever. Okay. So get away from those people. Get around people who respect you. And most of all, you have to respect you. You have to have self-respect for yourself. Okay. All right. Thank y'all for listening. peace.